Hello, I'm Marion Armitage and I'm going to be showing you today how to make Beremeal galettes, which is a kind of pancake using a lot of Shetland ingredients. Now, glasses on. So what we're going to do is to measure our ingredients, and the good thing about this is it all goes into one bowl. And I'm using a digital scale here, but if you don't have a digital scale, just work with a normal measuring jug for the milk and the buttermilk, and then just weigh the flour straight into the bowl. So in we go with 100 grams of Beremeal. Now Beremeal used to grow a lot in Shetland, but it doesn't grow commercially in Shetland now. So this Beremeal comes for Orkney, and I bought it at Scoop Whole Foods. So that's that. Just a pretty pinch of salt, no very much of that. And then in goes the egg. Now what I'm going to use today is Duke's eggs, but you can easily use hen's eggs. And this Duke's eggs come for Scoop Whole Foods, and they're come for some way in Was. So in we go to our Duke's eggs. That's it, straight in the bowl. And then the next thing that goes in after that is the buttermilk. So back on the digital scale, set them to 0, and we're going to put in 200 mils of Shetland Farm Dairies buttermilk. So that goes in, that's 200. And then on top of that, 100 mils, just set them to 0 again, 100 mils of milk. And this really does make it an awful lot quicker, just as the no-go hour. Now I'm not putting any sugar in this, so that if we want to make it savoury or sweet, then that doesn't make any odds. So I'm just using it by hand. You could use one of your stick blenders if you want it, but it really does not take much mixing. Just a pretty bit by hand like that. Get all the egg in together. And what we want to end up with is a kind of thin pouring batter. So this is a galette or a crepe, rather is a drop scone. So that's the mixture. I'll just get a pretty stir until it's all smooth. Okay, so that's lovely and mixed. So the next thing we're going to do is to get it into the measuring jug, ready, so just so that it's easier to pour into the pan. That's now then, over to the cooker. So just a peely grain Shetland Farm Dairies butter, just to slightly get the pan going, and then in with the mixture. So it's brally thin. I'm just going to put it like that, and then tilt the pan to let it spread. And then we're just going to wait till it starts, and you can see it's begun to start cooking around the edge. Now this doesn't rise up very deep at all. It's a very kind of thin crepe style pancake. And then when we've made 2 or 3 of them, we'll look at different things that we can do with them. We can put sweet things in, or we can put savoury things in. So we're just going to loosen them around the edges with a palette knife. But we want to leave it long enough so that it gets kind of brown on the other side. There. Now this is the first one, so he might stick, but we're not going to worry about that. So we'll try and flip him over. Oh, that one stuck a pretty bit, but that really doesn't matter. And we'll just let it get a bit more cooking on the other side. There we go. Oh. Don't be anxious about handling it. It's fine like that. Just give him a pretty press down maybe. Okay, now there we are. That was our first pancake, and he's not really perfect. He's torn, and that doesn't matter. The Rayburn is not really maybe heating off just but you might want to turn your gas up or your electric up if you're using another fuel. So we'll try this one, we'll turn him out onto the plate and see what he looks like, and then do another one. So there we go, that's fine. Bony and slightly coloured there. So back we go. A little bit of butter, just a tiny bit to kind of grease the pan, and then in goes another one. So same again, pour it in the mixture and then just tilt it to let it spread, and then wait. Again, that one has a pretty hole in the middle, but never mind. So here we are about 3 minutes later. This is where one with a hole in the middle, so we'll just turn them over. There he goes, found a funny colour there. And we'll just get a bit more colour on the second side. Maybe I'll just swap over the side of the way burn just to get a grain more heat. It's colouring fine. Oh boy, you can see him puffing up there. And he's fine and loose, so we'll just see if we can do a pretty flip there. There we go. Well, he definitely needs a grain more on that side, so in he goes there. Okay, so that's both sides done. Let's just see again if we can. There we go. And then back onto the plate. And the next one. So hopefully we might get a really good one this time. Without any holes or... There we go. Maybe make this one a little bit bigger. There we go, right to the edge. I think this one's going to be a bit thicker. So that one, because the mixture is a pretty bit thicker, we'll maybe need just an extra minute or so, but you can judge it by when it starts cooking around the edges. Right, this one's ready to turn, and you can see that because it's just beginning to get kind of brown and crispy at the edges. Loosen them, and out he goes. That's a good fine round sized one, and he's puffing up a pretty grain as well. So now what are we going to do with this galettes? Well, for a savoury recipe we could get some fine Shetland bacon. So here's a bit of bacon frying away in the pan. So let's get this lovely hot galette over here, and we'll slip them onto the plate, and then on goes the bacon, lovely bacon like that. You could put mushrooms or whatever, we'll just slightly fold that over. If you wanted to, you could put a grain of maple syrup on it, that would be lovely. You could have that for your breakfast, or if you wanted it for your lunch, you might have some very healthy looking salad to go on the side. There we go. So that could be a lunchtime recipe. And then for a sweet one, we'll take one of the other galettes that we made earlier, and we could put in a lovely spoonful of Shetland rhubarb jam. There's a good dollop of it there. I like it with ginger in it as well. And then we have some Shetland Farm Dairies double cream, and we'll just whip that up, and we'll just put a great slatch of that on top of the rhubarb jam, and just flip that over, and that could be your pudding. So we've used a lot of Shetland things in this session. We have our Shetland bacon, our Duke's eggs that have come for was, the homemade rhubarb jam for Scatness, and the Orkney Beremeal that was supplied at Scoop Whole Foods, and they supply a lot of the country shops as well. But most of all, of course, we had the Shetland Farm Dairies buttermilk. This is semi-skim milk, their double cream, and their butter.